Hello, my name's Jerry Benjamin. I'm delighted to be here today to share a moment of Torah in the community. I serve as the president of the Milwaukee Jewish Federation. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a story that happens in the Parsha of Pinchas, which is where we currently are. It's in the book of Bamidbar, or in the desert in English. And it's the story of Tzlafchad's daughters. Now, my mom would really like this story. She would say it was an early feminist story. So, who was Tzlafchad? Tzlafchad was the great grandson of Joseph, who of course was the great grandson of Abraham. Tzlafchad had died in the desert, and he had 5 daughters and no sons. Now imagine in a patriarchal society that 5 women have the incredible courage to go to the tent of meeting where sits Moses, where sits Eliezer HaKohen, Eliezer the priest, all of the princes of the tribes of Israel. Imagine they stand at the back of the tent of meeting and have the courage to say to Moses, Moses, we're Tzlafchad's daughters. Our father died in the wilderness. We want our inheritance. They petitioned all of these men in a place where there, believe me, were no women at the time. From the edge of the tent of meeting, they asked Moses for their inheritance. This was something that was, I think, was just absolutely extraordinary. The courage, the knowledge, the sense of self that it took to come forward had to be just breathtaking. And after all, 5 women, 5 daughters, all of whom were knowledgeable, all of whom understood. It doesn't say which daughter spoke up. They spoke up together, perhaps almost as a chorus. And what did Moses do? This was a case of what lawyers would call a case of first impression. Moses didn't have an answer because the question hadn't been asked before. So when Moses didn't have an answer, he immediately turned to God and he asked God, what do I do? And God answers him through the Torah, and we know God's answer. God's answer was, Tzlafchad's daughters are right. They deserve an inheritance. And at that moment in time, I think, 3,000 years ago the world turns dramatically. The world turns because women that had almost no rights at that point in time now have significant rights, the rights of property inheritance, the ability that if there are no sons present now to receive property from their father. These women were members of the tribe of Manasseh. If you're interested, Manasseh and his tribe settled in central Israel and what would be central Jordan today. They were the great-grandchildren of Gideon, so they were in the area of Gideon. So they lived pretty close, perhaps to Tel Aviv, where Tel Aviv is today. There was one caveat that Moses gives them, and the caveat is that you receive the inheritance as God has told us, but you must, if you marry men from your tribe, from the tribe of Manasseh, your brethren. You have to marry them, or else you lose your inheritance. So these women were cautious. The Midrash tells us they waited. They didn't just marry the first person that came along. They waited for husbands, perhaps, that were as wise and strong as they were and suitable for them. And they were already had attained the age of 40 or more when they had married, according to the Midrash. And the extraordinary thing is, because of their righteousness, and because of their courage to speak to Moses, and in essence really speak to God themselves, they were granted families at that age, and they had children, which I think is a wonderful way that the Midrash tells us of the importance of speaking up. So that's the story of Tzlafchad's daughter. daughters and my mom would really like this one.